Hey everyone, it's Brandy. So I'm here on the Dixiebell page today, and we're going to be doing some stenciling. I've got a few different projects lined up. We're going to use a few different Dixiebell products and stencil. I'm going to show you how to use these on actual projects, you know, that you might encounter working on furniture and stuff. So I'm going to be stenciling with some Dixiebell paint, Dixie mud, and on a few different projects here today. So I am a furniture painter out of Sacramento, California. I'm with Brushed by Brandy, and please go like my page if you like this video. I do a lot of videos on there. So Brushed by Brandy on Facebook or Instagram. And then also today, if you like and share this video, we're going to be giving away a Dixiebell stencil of your choice, and they have a huge selection of stencils. So a Dixiebell stencil of your choice, and then also an 8-ounce of Dixiebell paint of your choice. So like and share this video, and we're giving away a stencil and paint. So, okay. The first project I have lined up is going to be this piece here. So this is a large touch, and it has a round wood emblem that's right here at the top of it. It's part of this carving detail that we're leaving in the wood against the black. But my customer came and said, you know, is there anything special we could do to this little round? It just looked like it was kind of missing something. So what we're going to be doing is similar to this here. This is also done with Dixie mud. But this is, so this drawer here had an inlay. And then when I painted it, of course, that inlay disappeared. So I used a small stencil in Dixie mud, and I made a raised detail here. And then I just hit the top of it with some gilding wax. And it gave me this extra detail on the front of my drawer. So we're going to be doing something similar to that here. So this is a small stencil that I cut. I have a vinyl cutter, just a silhouette, and I cut this out of vinyl with my silhouette. So it came out just like this. This is a small piece of vinyl. And then I took a piece of clear contact paper, stuck that over the top, and I transferred that stencil onto the front here. Peeled away the contact paper, and I'm left with just my stencil. So that is the design that I want. And then I'm going to take my Dixie mud. This is Dixie mud in black. It also comes in white and I believe in brown. And it's quite literally like mud. It's like a clay almost. I'll stir it here so you guys can see, but you can see the consistency of it. It's like mud. It's like mud in a jar.
So a couple of quick shout outs. Yeah. Sally says hi from New York.
Hey Sally.
Sandy from Tennessee.
Hi. Hey you guys, I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. Thank you so much for coming to watch. So I have this is just basically a spatula. It's just a spatula tool. This is Prima, these are from Prima Marketing, but Finnabair is who distributes these. I just picked mine up at Michael's, but they're available online too. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this mud on my spatula, and I'm going to cover my design here. So you can see what it's going to do. It's going to leave a texture on the parts of my stencil. I want to cover my whole stencil here. I'm going to add a little bit more. You can layer this and make it as thick or as thin as you like it to be.
I got that too, Suzanne says.
What?
She's laughing and she says it's Sunday.
Oh,
you mentioned Saturday.
Saturday? Hey guys, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have no clue what day of the week it is. If my kids don't have school, thank you. Thanks for the reminder. Great. Okay, so I've just layered on my Dixie mud, and then, in theory, when I peel this away, my stencil away, I will be left with that design in a raised texture on that emblem. Now, this part here, I don't want to touch it, so I'm just going to take it and kind of puncture it with these tweezers to try to peel this inside portion back. If I can grab a piece of it. There we go. Because my stencil had that inner detail, it's in two pieces. So when I peeled away that outer portion, it didn't peel away the inner portion. So this is just a cut vinyl piece here. You can see it starting to peel back. I don't want to touch my mud because it's still wet. It's still setting up.
Way too much patience for me.
And this was a very fine detailed stencil too. So you can see my letter T here. It still has these little, and I'll come back later and peel those out. But you can see what a cool look that's going to be if you want to back up a little bit. Once I peel out these details of my stencil here. So you can see basically the look that we're going to get from that. And it's a little bit raised, so it's got some texture to it. I can add paint or gilding wax to this afterwards. Just hit it with my finger and add a little paint. I'm gonna leave this wood, and I like the color of this mud. It goes perfectly with the black. So I'm actually just gonna seal this with a clear coat after we're done here. And then I'll have a customer's monogram on their custom piece of furniture. I just think that's a really special thing to make it theirs. So that's one use. That was the Dixie mud, and we just applied it with the spatula over our stencil. You could do this on a larger stencil. That was a very small one, but you could absolutely do this on a larger stencil too. So the next project I have lined up, we're going to stencil with, I have a cow theme going on here today. And this is Dixiebell's cow stencil, if you can see that. It was better on the Was it better?
Flat.
Okay, thank you. So it's the Dixiebell cow stencil. And what I'm going to do with my cow stencil, I'm going to take, this is just a spray adhesive.
So really quick, sorry. Carla wants to know how long it takes for the mud to dry.
It's pretty fast. I will leave that for probably a couple hours, and it'll start hazing over a little bit white on the top, and that's how you can tell that it's starting to dry. So, but it sets up pretty quickly. You know, I'll wait overnight to put the clear coat on it because I don't want to disturb that. That's such a fine stencil. You know, in worst case, if you mess it up the first time, it's as simple as wiping it back off. It's just a mud layer that you can wipe back off and start over again. So these are fun products to play with. I'm going to spray. So this is just a 3M spray adhesive from the hardware store. And I just sprayed my stencil lightly with that spray adhesive. It's going to leave a little bit of a sticky coat on my stencil after I'm done. But that's okay, because when I store this, I can keep coming back. And then you can clean this off with a goof off, or if you want to get that adhesive off the back of your stencil. But I'm going to store it like that, and I'm going to keep using it like that, so it's okay. So what I've got here for this project, these are just 2 old fence boards. And I pick these up anytime, you know, there's a storm in the area and everybody's fences go down. People give away their fence boards, and I pick them up, and they've got this old rustic texture. These were painted before in a white paint. So they're very authentic looking. And I'm going to use, these 2 have been attached, just 2 fence boards. I lightly sanded them, and I'm going to use them to make a farmhouse sign. So I'm going to measure this here because I want my stencil roughly in the center. Okay, so 68, so I want to be right at about 34 for this. I'm going to kind of eyeball this, but I want it to be roughly. So I'm pretty good here. So my stencil's roughly in the middle of my boards. That spray adhesive has started to set up. I can feel this. It's not moving off my boards. It's nice and attached. And then the colors I chose for my cow, I'm going to make him, so here's my plan. I've got some transfers, some image transfers. And I'm going to do something to the effect of, you know, I've got farm fresh and dairy. So I'm thinking of doing like farm fresh dairy with the cow in the middle. I don't know. I've got a couple different image transfers I'm going to work with. You know, I also thought of just doing the farm fresh. I don't know. I'm going to play around, but you can see the idea. I'm going to do the 2 words on the side over the top of my cow stencil in the middle. So it'll have a real farmhouse feel with this rustic wood.
So you have Hi from Arkansas. That's Candy.
Hi.
You've got Georgia from Texas, and Angela says hello from Nebraska. She's a first-time watcher.
Welcome, you guys. Dixiebell does a lot of great videos. I'm a brand ambassador for Dixiebell, so I'm here to answer your questions and help you guys learn how to use the products and show you what's out there, what's available. So I've got my cow stencil adhered. You guys, if you like and share this video too, we're going to be giving away a Dixiebell stencil and an 8 ounce of Dixiebell paint.
Turnabout's Creative Decor says hi from Florida.
So the color I chose for my cow, I'm going to use Vintage Duck Egg. I just thought with the gray lettering and the old white of the sign, it would be pretty with a blue cow. We're gonna make a blue cow.
Terry says she just got her cow stencil the other day.
It's super cute.
She says it's almost the same project.
I actually thought about like trying to freehand a cow, but I think the stencils are a great way when you're, you know, not that sure of trying to draw something to scale, that it gives you the outline, and you can decorate the inside of it as much as you want. You can come back and hand paint. I'm actually going to make some spots on my cow today. So I just took a little bit of my vintage duck egg, and I've got a small foam roller here, and I'm going to roll it out on my paper plate. I really want like super light coverage on this foam roller. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to roll in the shape of this cow. I don't have very much paint on this roller at all. A little bit goes a long way with stenciling, but you can already see he's starting to take shape. My cow. So we are building a house right now, you guys, and I really, I have one of these signs already, and I am going to hang these. Our great room has tall ceilings, and I plan to hang these in the height of our ceilings for a really cute, like, farmhouse decor look. So I'm just rolling this in, pressing it along the edges. That spray adhesive should have given a nice seal to my stencil. In theory, we'll see when I peel it away. And then I just want really, really light coverage on here. It doesn't have to be perfect either, because I want kind of a rustic look. His tail. Okay. So he's pretty well covered just from my, and I chose the foam roller on this one because it's a fairly large open space in my stencil. So that was a really quick way to get coverage on there. So then I want to give him some spots. My cow's going to have spots. So I'm going to take a second color, and this is Dixiebell Gravel Road. And then I've just got these little stencil brushes. These are also by Finnabair. And I really like these. They give me just the right amount of paint. They're nice and dense, natural bristles. So I'm going to take a little bit and dab my brush off onto my paper plate here. You can see the color combo is really pretty. The gravel road with the, and then I'm just going to kind of at random give him some dark spots.
Some happy clouds.
Some painting happy clouds. You know, they're going to be really subtle, just kind of cute little. Just really give it that extra, I don't know, that extra detail from just being the blank cow. Totally random, no really rhyme or reason to my spots.
Cindy says she's excited to watch this. She just asked you last week if you had a tutorial on stenciling.
I do, it's right here.
Surprise.
Yeah, I read your mind. I upload these to my YouTube page also after we're done, so you can catch this on the Dixiebell page and on my YouTube page on replay. You guys, if you share this video, we're giving away a Dixiebell stencil and 8 ounce of Dixiebell paint today. If you like this, go like my page. I'm at Brushed by Brandy. I don't know, how's that look? He needs some more spots, huh? You know, but you see how you can blend the colors inside your stencil and add more detail. So it's not just this outline. Now I've got this fun cow with these, no, they're just random shapes on here. Give him one kind of on his head.
Yeah, just not on the horn. Looks kind of funny.
Okay. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to darken the hooves a little bit just for... I'm really just dabbing this paint in. It's blending in with the blue, but it's kind of pretty. I'm darken his tail a little bit too.
Terry says, what a cool idea. So glad to see you that I can do this on my cow. She's going to have hers on a cabinet end panel.
Oh, cute. Yes, perfect. I'm going to blend my this spot a little bit more. It's a little abrupt. I can add more of the blue if I don't like where it's going, which I don't like how that one's a little too large for me. I'm going to add some more of the blue. So that just gives me some color variation. I'm going to blend out the edges of these a little bit.
Rhonda wants to know where you got your transfers.
Prima Marketing. Those are their new redesigned by Prima, and I'll post some links on here. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. They have a whole variety. They're all available on Amazon and at retailers throughout the country. So now when I peel this off, how cute is that? Oh my gosh, she's so cute. So I'm pretty excited about that. So you guys can kind of imagine now when I take my, when I drop everything on the floor, when I take my transfers and put the words on the side, and I'll have that cow in the background. So I had sprayed my stencil with some spray adhesive, and now I want to store it. So I'm just going to take a piece of parchment paper, and this is going to be the back of my stencil. So next time I go to use it, I can add more spray adhesive if I need to, but it stays a little bit tacky. So I'm going to store it like this. I'll clean it, and then just stick it to that, and then I can store it for next time I want to use it. So I also had this stencil that I thought was really cute. How we just mixed the colors on there. This is the Dixiebell Poppy stencil.
I'm going to catch it at an angle so you can see it.
But I thought this would be really cute if you did the flowers in like a red, and then you can do the stems in a green the same way, just dabbing in the different colors like we did there, and that would be really cute too, even adding some poppies. It would be cute on the sign even. And I want to keep mine fairly simple. So,
Candy had a quick question.
Yeah.
Can you blend the mud with a little paint to make a colored raised stencil?
You can, yes, you can. They make the mud in white, and you can tint the white. Obviously, the black mud's a little dark for tinting, but you could do it in the white, and it would be super easy. So I'm going to clean this up, and then I have one more stenciling project. I'll post pictures of these on this thread when they're done too. The finished sign, and then this finished touch too. Let me get this out of my way. I'll tip that up. How cute is that? So, and then imagine with the wording on either side of him, it's going to be really cute. I'm going to take this and set this aside. And then one thing I really like to do for an extra special touch on a lot of pieces is I like to stencil my drawer sides.
The glide.
Oh yeah, I know. It's
that one's a loose one.
I need to repair that. So, so I like to stencil my drawer sides, and it's just when you pull a drawer out, it just gives you that little peekaboo of detail. Customers really think it's special. So, oops, let me get this off to the other side, and I'm going to grab my stencil for this. Hang on, guys, hang on, I'm grabbing my stencil.
So Suzanne wants to know, how would you have made the mud higher? Would you add it to it?
You can layer it, yeah. let it dry, and then come back, add another layer. My stencil was really thin because it was just a vinyl. But if you use the spatula to flatten it, it's going to be basically the thickness of your stencil. So these are thicker than my vinyl was. So using a thicker stencil is another way, or just letting it set up a little bit, coming back and adding another layer. You can gob it on as much as you want to and do a thick layer of mud. You can give it texture, let it be textured. I just chose for that particular look just to have a small, you know, really small and not too textured look. So this is the Dixiebell Quatrefoil stencil. Can you see that design here against the black?
There you go.
So I like this on my drawer sides. So I'm going to take this and spray it with my same spray adhesive.
So Debbie wants to know, is there anything you can't do? Not really sure.
I cannot cook. I don't cook. My family is starving. Send food. I don't cook, guys, because I'm out here painting all the time. Ask my husband. So for this, I really, I did my drawer sides in black, and this piece is going to be a metallic. So I just want to add a little bit of shimmer with my stencil. That's just some dirt on there. So I chose to use, this is pearlescent glaze. This is Dixiebell pearlescent glaze. I'm just going to stencil the glaze on there. It's just going to add a little bit of shimmer on top of the black. So I did my spray adhesive. I let it set up so it's nice and tacky now. And I'm just going to set on my Quatrefoil stencil. And you can do it either way. I think I kind of like it this way. It fits my drawer really well. That spray adhesive makes all the difference in the world. It's going to keep my stencil from moving. Okay, so I've got that on there. Let me grab my paper plate again.
Cindy says she was doing drawer sides last week and had a lot of paint seeping under. She didn't think about the spray adhesive.
It makes a big difference. You know, sometimes what I'll do too is I have just cheap paper stencils or even my vinyl stencils, and I will hit this with a little spray of spray paint and do my stencils that way. So I've got my same brushes. This is a little bit smaller size. I dipped into my pearlescent glaze and I dabbed it off on my plate. You really want like barely any on your brush, especially for the glaze, because I really just want the hint of the glaze. And I'm just dabbing it along my stencil. Refill it. This spray adhesive is going to really keep your stencil from allowing it to bleed through. Can
you do me a favor? Can you turn that spray adhesive around? Just Pat wants to know what kind it is. There's multiple kinds.
Spray adhesive.
Home Depot, any place like that, you can go snag this stuff up.
This is the heavy duty one, but you can, it's super. But they have lighter duty ones too, and that doesn't really matter. You could use any of those. So this is the pearlescent glaze. I'm just adding it, dabbing it into these lines here.
And then does the spray adhesive leave any residue?
No, if you let it set up for a minute, you don't want to put it on the drawer while it's still wet. Let it set up for a minute on your stencil. It will leave a residue on your stencil. You can wash it if you want. I store it with it on there, and then I'll come back and spray it again later. And once it starts getting a little thick, then I'll clean my stencil. You can clean off the spray adhesive with, a goof off, or white lightning might even work. I haven't tried that yet, but I bet white lightning would work. That's Dixiebell's cleaner. So you can see how really subtle this pearlescent glaze is against the black, and that's what I want. I just want to add a little bit of sparkle for the stencil. So when you pull this drawer out, it's going to have this hidden detail in there. And the sparkle will go, I'm using the metallic silver paint on this dresser. So this little bit of sparkle will go with the metallic silver. You could use the metallic silver paint, would be really pretty on these sides too, against the black. I thought about using peony, which is a bright pink color, but I didn't want to make it too specific. So this is a little more subtle. Okay, so once my stencil's fairly covered, pretty evenly. Okay, and then I can peel this away like a sticker, and you guys will see what it leaves behind.
Check that out.
Yeah, so just a really subtle detail. So then the next, I will come back and I will match this up to my stencil again. Right about there. I will match it up to the center and on the sides. My spray adhesive just reactivates again. See, I can just stick that on and continue doing the second placement for this one. Just dabbing this is just glaze. Just dabbing my glaze along the drawer. So you can see that spray adhesive really makes all the difference in the world. It really makes your stencil into basically a sticker that you can just stick onto your drawer. I almost used on this. I'll show you too, just for an example. This is the metallic silver. If you wanted this to be a little bit more apparent against the black, the metallic silver would be a really pretty option too. So we'll do a little part in that. You can kind of see the contrast. So I did this shape right here is going to be the metallic silver. So when I peel this away, you can see it's a little more apparent, and I'm just going for the more subtle look here. So, and this pearlescent glaze, when it hits the light differently, it takes on a different color kind of. So you can imagine on this piece here, which is a really beautiful Bombay chest, when they pull the drawers out now, we'll have this Quatrefoil detail on the sides. So that was kind of it, guys. So we did this raised stencil with the Dixie mud. We did the Quatrefoil stencil on this drawer side with pearlescent glaze. And then we did this cow for my cow sign here. And so I'm going to finish up these projects and I'll get them posted. If you guys like this, thought it was helpful, please share the video. We're going to be giving away a Dixiebell stencil of your choice, and then an 8 ounce of Dixiebell paint too. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to come back on the thread and I'll answer any questions. My affiliate link for ordering your Dixiebell paint is on this thread. It's at the top. And then if you like this, go like my page at Brush by Brandy. So thank you guys. Have a great Sunday. I'll talk to you later.